Invincible.
Time for brand tax. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Who gets it done? We're leaning on each other. It's Joey Rainey. It's Andrew Baum coming to the straight. Stone Colby's right there with them. Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Brands Hatch coming to the line.
It's for the push. I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Colby taking the checkered flag to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure.
Now, we're back again. But this time, things are a lot different than they were earlier today. The long straights at Fuji tempts you to think this place is all about horsepower, but it isn't. For the West Coast Sim Racing GTF Challenge, the pendulum swings back to GT3 machinery after VIR, and Fuji Speedway is ready to expose every weakness in the field. These cars will arrive at turn 1 at serious speeds, the real work begins after that. Fuji's middle and final sectors demand patience, traction, and a car that can rotate cleanly without destroying tires. Drivers over-attack the technical corners will pay for it all the way down the front straight. Those who sacrifice too much entry speed risk becoming sitting ducks under braking. And this is what makes this round so interesting. The GT3 cars bring more weight, power, and more strategy back into the equation after the precision of the Formula 4s. Now, drivers must manage ABS, traction control, tire deg, and the constant compromise between straight line speed and cornering stability. The mountain may dominate the skyline, but tonight, the spotlight belongs to the drivers. This is West Coast Sim Racing GTF Challenge. Back into the GT3 machinery at Fuji Speedway. And it's time to go racing. Welcome in, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to be your host, taking you from green to checkered flag. On behalf of West Coast Sim Racing and AK Esports, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, take you from green to checkered. Here in the Oyama Prefecture of Japan, we're at the Fuji Speedway, a track length of 2.77 miles with 16 corners in total without the chicane, and total pit road speed of 37 miles per hour. The surface, well, it's moist out there tonight in the foothills of Mount Fuji. We're lucky we don't have snow here. Couple keys to the race for the GT3 drivers in the wet. Brake earlier than your instinct tells you to. Key 2, hunt for grip off the normal racing line. Be patient with throttle on corner exit. And read the weather and tire crossover correctly. We'll see if that sets the drivers up squarely. But before we do, let's take a look at the GT3 GTF Championship. It's Edwin Onofre at the top of the charts with 97 points, then Josh Hunter 72, and then Nico Colby, Brandon Birch, Jeremy Fletcher, Brendan Myers, Benito Gonzalez, Alexei Andreu, Connor Cunningham, Warren Johnson, Dylan Lee, Slater Colby, Colton Juarez, Mitch Crowther, Jacob Ballin, Colin Thomas, Mason Only, and Boris Dragovich rounding out the top 18. Take a look at the results for the qualifying session. Take a look at the grid instead. Here's the starting grid. It's going to be Josh Hunter and Nathaniel Redmond on the first row. Starting on the second, it's going to be Edwin Onofre and Alexei Andreu. Row number 3 belongs to Dylan Lee and Brennan Myers, driving the Ford Mustang. Row number 4 for Connor Cunningham and Birch in the number 36. And row number 5 for Colton Juarez and Benito Gonzalez. Row number 6 goes the way for Warren Johnson and Jacob Bolland, driving for P12. Drivers squared up 2 by 2. Connor Cunningham peeks and pokes out of line, but drives back in. Ready to take the green flag. Driver squared up 2 by. Take a look at the drivers and their tire compounds as well. All the way down the start-finish straight. We wait for the green flag. Green, green, green is in the air, and the rain begins to fall here at Fuji Speedway. Into the braking, going into turn 1. Brendan Myers gives a little love tap to the number 19 of Alexei Andreu up ahead. No harm, no foul between drivers going through turn number 1. 2 by all the way down towards corner number 2. From 5th on back, we'll try to get through squarely and cleanly. The drivers are well equipped to handle these challenges. There are no slouches at these machines, that's for sure. And there goes off Alexei Andreu, losing a little bit of ground, or is he getting moves done? This time he's making moves, excuse me, on the championship leader, Edwin Onofre, and a spinner, a solo spin for the number 2 of Dylan Lee. Lamborghini runs himself off. Nathaniel Redmond, worse for wear on his run up the hill into nets. Redmond now has to go wheel to wheel. Excuse me, Hunter wheel to wheel with Alexei Andreu as he tumbles down the order, and there goes Birch round. No, excuse me, that was Brendan Myers. Brendan Myers goes round in the other white and blue livery. And drivers succumbing to their own devices here at the speedway. Colton Juarez having a little bit of fun with the leader Warren Johnson right now, the number 24. Side by side into the braking zone of the first corner. Will belong to the Ferrari as the Porsche goes into wide onto the loud pedal and tucks back in behind the Ferrari. Coming into Coca-Cola, it belongs to Colton Juarez. Warren Johnson still not too shabby, is up 4 positions right now on his run. We'll definitely have to see what tires are going to be the preferable over the long run. We have a scattered mix right now because there goes Alexei and Onofre again, and they're on 2 completely different compounds right now. With it being a short 15-minute sprint, the time to change tires is not a luxury we have. Alexei at the inside of Panasonic goes up the hill, puts on the blocks on his fellow Stang. But all this battling allows Nathaniel Redmond to escape up the road. Warren Johnson and Colton Juarez exchanging blows yet again. Colton Juarez peeks and pokes out to the racing line coming in through turn 1, but it's to no avail. The 24 parked it on the apex just in the nick of time. Back up here to the Alexe Andreu and Onofre debacle has yet to become settled down. Josh Hunter, who crashed earlier on, now battles with Benito Gonzalez. Let's get a replay of what happened to Josh Hunter here. And there's a slip up that we all saw. This is the one we didn't see. Oh, and a touch from behind. And Alexe might have to have a word with the stewards post-race. Welcome in, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for joining us on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing. We appreciate your love and support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications for when we go live here on West Coast Sim Racing. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Whoa, there's a long leaping dive from Josh Hunter. As Hunter tries to climb up the order, he gets one done on Colton Juarez. Holy Toledo. And Redman tries to get one done on Warren Johnson. On exit, though, Johnson came back over. Gave Redman a little bit of fright there. Daniel Redman doesn't even need to use the side draft, just walks right on by Warren Johnson. Will Colton Juarez be doing the same thing in the background here in just a second? As Warren was a little slow on exit. He blocks off the entrance for turn one, gets a little love tap from the 186 Colton Juarez in the Ferrari. Gotta be careful with track limits there, Warren. Here comes down into 100R. And before we get down to the hairpin. Continuing their side-by-side bout all the way through the fastest part of the racetrack, 300R. Warren slingshots himself up into defensible position of P7 right now in front of Colton. Connor Cunningham, and that'll be Josh Hunter in the Cyberpunk livery. 502 succumbs to the attack of Josh Hunter. At the end of the day, those dry tires are just too darn quick. Rain still pittering down. Andreu and Onofre run nose to tail. Josh Hunter pulls out the last lap, fast lap of the event. And Onofre can't do anything to get by Alexa. Andreu starting to become under attack. And the gap between himself and Josh Hunter has come down dramatically. So Redmond could have an opportunity to get back up into P2. Excuse me, Hunter could have the opportunity to get back up into P2. They keep getting drivers' names mixed up tonight. Brendan Birch, Brendan Myers. Here comes the long-legged Lamborghini. Down the front stretch, nearly a mile long, 1.5 kilometers in length. Josh Hunter looking for some puddles of water to cool down his tires, perhaps. He looked a little off the racing line there. Here we go. The attacking glance. The look is on. But Hunter too far back to make one move happen. Onofre has a little bit of mistake mounting up the curb coming through Dunlop. Now into nets. It will go the way for Josh Hunter. Hunter with a tremendous drive right now. Putting in just these tremendous laps. Seconds faster than his opponents right now. Can Hunter even climb back up into the lead of this race and challenge Nathaniel Redmond? Let's find out. Only about 0.2 faster that last time around for Hunter. It'll be a steep order to climb with only 2.5 minutes left to go on the clock. There it is. Alexei Andreu relinquishes the position to Josh Hunter, who's finally back up into P2. New laps across the line. Hunter being the fastest of the trio right now. Can he unleash the beast and catch up to Redmond? But here's a side-by-side battle between Cunningham and Colton Juarez. Juarez, who is up 2. Gets another one done now on Connor T. Cunningham. That'll make that 3 done. Nathaniel Redmond will take the checkered flag for us, though. What's happened to Brennan Myers? Oh, no. Oh, no. How did this exactly go down? Oh, that's never good. That's never good. Nathaniel Redmond will take the win and the checkered flag here for round 1. Josh Hunter will take second. Alexei Andreu in third. Edwin Onofre in fourth. Our championship leader Birch in fifth. Colton Juarez, Connor Cunningham, Dylan Lee, Warren Johnson, Benito Gonzalez dragged to the line, and Jacob Ballin in P11. There are the results. Nathaniel Redmond, Josh Hunter, Alexei Andreu, the 1, 2, 3. Edwin Onofre in fourth, Birch in fifth, Colton Juarez, Connor Cunningham, Dylan Lee, Warren Johnson, Benito Gonzalez, Jacob Bolland, and Brennan Myers rounding it out. We're currently in the warm-up period, waiting for the drivers to get gridded up here in just about a minute's time. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back in just about 2. Now let's take a look at our starting grid, shall we? First row, it's going to be Nathaniel Redmond and Josh Hunter filling it up. Row 2 for Alexei Andreu and Edwin Onofre, a championship contender right now. Birch and Colton Juarez in 5th and 6th. Further back, it'll be Connor Cunningham and Dylan Lee. And we have Warren Johnson and Benito Gonzalez in 9th and 10th. Jacob Bolland and Brennan Myers running out 11th and 12th. Here we go, ready to take the green flag yet again. Drivers again on wet and dry tires. No one is decisive about their selection. Onofre, however, on the wets, tries to get something done earlier on in this event than last time. Andreu goes a little bit deep and has things to say with Colton Juarez. Now in the background, it will be Andreu and Onofre to duke it out over P2 as Redmond holds on to the lead all over again. We saw how commanding of a victory he had once he was in the lead. Hopefully, the drivers paid attention to what he was doing to figure this one out. Here we go, too wide coming down into the hairpin between Andreu, Birch, and Juarez. Here comes Birch along the inside of the 186, but through 200R, it becomes the outside line. Oh no, and Colton Juarez has gone off. And that's a big hit to the barrier. Oh my goodness, here we go on the loud pedal. Coming out of the first corner, the trio in the lead of this one aren't ready to give it up just yet. Around the outside, Edwin Onofre tries to make hay on Redmond, but no doing this time around. Coming down the front straight at 164 miles an hour, Alexei Andreu peels past Edwin Onofre, just barely though. Are those wet tires the worst choice to make for a race like this, where the conditions are a little bit mixed? The first three all ready to leave it all out on the line tonight. I'm still just waiting for the moment for that crossover period where Edwin Onofre is going to be unleashed with those wet tires on the drivers with the dries. Alexei goes to the inside line on Nathaniel Redmond for the challenge for the lead. And Redmond, who's in too deep at turn one, loses the ground that he needed to hold on to P1 and the lead of this event. Side by side going into Dunlop now and through nets. It'll be Redmond back out on top. The two banana boats go wheel to wheel. Still nose to tail, Andreu just barely ahead of Nathaniel Redmond. Let's take a look at these lap times real quick. They continue to trade blows, and Andreu pulls out the fast lap, last lap on lap 3. There goes Redmond, though, with a big squeeze at the hairpin. Tries to put the pressure on Alexei, who says, no, thank you. I will not be faltered, and I will not fail, not in the rain here at Fuji. Continuing this amazing side-by-side battle for nearly an entire lap. And someone's cooling their jets in pit lane right now. That would be Brennan Myers in pit lane right now. Andreu, Redmond, Onofre too far back to stay in touch of this battle. Andreu still manages to narrowly hold on to the lead, just in front of Redmond. Josh Hunter pulls out another fast lap of the event. Last time by, but the consistency didn't prove to be true for him this evening. As Josh Hunter actually started from pit lane, excuse me. On the formation lap, Josh Hunter worked his way from the back of the grid forward. Now, what can Alexa do to hold on to the lead here? Especially as the rain still comes pattering down on the windshields. Not even at the halfway point of this event, and we have to start thinking about drivers overdriving their cars and perhaps wearing out their tires. Battle between Onofre and Dylan Lee here, as they get pushed through turn one side by side. Feel like Edwin Onofre just got taken advantage of on a first date. Now the battles begin to settle down, but Alexa makes a critical mistake on exit of Dunlop, and there goes Redmond to take advantage of that little blimp of concentration. Andreu behind Cunningham. Look at all that spray coming up into Andreu's face. Now right on board with Andreu coming through turn 1 and the kink of turn 2. And you come down into Coca-Cola, set yourself up all the way to the right-hand side before you flick it in. Don't mount the curbs under these wet, treacherous conditions. Redmond did. Carried a ton of speed through there, but Alexe was not able to mimic the same thing. And this is where things get tricky into Panasonic. You want to compromise your entry to get a good exit onto the longest stretch of racetrack in Asia. Edwin Onofre down one position from where he started, up in P4. Benito Gonzalez chases down Connor Cunningham in the 502 for 7th and 8th position. Warren Johnson about 9 seconds adrift from this conversation currently. Look at Josh Hunter. Starting from pit lane. Has worked his way like a magician all the way back up into P3. And now we'll try to challenge for P2. Ryu, defensive move. Going into turn 1. Came across into the braking zone to stop Hunter from attacking. Hunter looks to try to challenge Andreu, but no, will not look in his rear view mirrors. Andreu stays the inside line at 100R, excuse me. And it will be Josh Hunter to go to the outside line and into the braking, slams on the brakes, finds an apex, and gets on the loud pedal with momentum and drive to challenge Alexe for P2 right now. Now through 300R. It will be side by side fully and completely. Andreu narrowly ahead, but only because I think Josh Hunter saw the blinking car next to him and wasn't sure where to go. Alexe falls prey to another attack, but can he get a switchback engaged on Josh Hunter? No. The more these two squabble, the more Nathaniel Redmond has to play with as far as his lead is concerned. Oh, what a great battle here. Going into the final 8 minutes of this event. Who do you think is going to come out on top and who's going to be best of the rest tonight? There's the lap time delta between Hunter and Andreu, how much it's slinkied back and forth. Now we begin to see it swing in the opposite direction in Hunter's favor. As Hunter crosses the line, we'll check in and see what the lap times start to look like. Josh Hunter about 0.8 quicker that last time by on Nathaniel Redmond. That's Warren Johnson off. And Warren Johnson trying to stay on the track with these dry tires. It doesn't seem to be going well for him. Into the final 5 minutes of this event. Still Nathaniel Redmond, Josh Hunter, and then Alexei Andreu. Can Andreu close down on Josh Hunter now? Or what will it take for Andreu to get through to Hunter? Or can Hunter catch up to Redmond in the final 4 minutes? Benito Gonzalez, the Mexican driver, chases down Brendan Birch, who had a bit of a interesting moment upside down. Or was that Brendan Myers? Brendan Myers had an interesting moment upside down. During the first race, he turned himself into a turtle. Here we go. Josh Hunter all over the rear wing of Nathaniel Redmond for the lead. The 303 of Redmond needs to defend hard but fair going into the final minute of this event. Otherwise, the grenade could go off and everybody could blow their legs off in the trenches. A little bit of traffic. That's going to be Bolland up next. Flashy of the headlights. And Bolland is off. Allowing the leaders to come through. Here we go, on to the final lap. Barney's going to hold the white flag up in the air for us. Drag into turn one between Redmond and Hunter. Into the first corner for the final time here in Fuji. Redmond there narrowly escapes with his life. The 303 in front of the 81 Lamborghini, Josh Hunter. To the inside line at the hairpin. Josh Hunter sets this one up from a long way back, but I think he's too far back to make that one work. Slams on the brakes behind the Ferrari and avoids the contact, but at the end of the day still has one more chance. The heavy braking zone coming into Dunlop, and then there's always Panasonic. You get Panasonic just right, Dunlop just right is even better, because then he can get through, no harm, no foul. Josh Hunter sees Redmond make a critical mistake, and he'll go up into the lead. But Nathaniel Redmond isn't done with it yet. Up at nets, wheel to wheel between the duo. This will go all the way to the line. Hunter to the inside. Nathaniel Redmond on the outside, slaughters some sausages, and that might compromise him all the way to the line. It'll be Josh Hunter taking the checker, Nathaniel Redmond in second, and Alexei Andreu in third. Dylan brings home fourth place at the end of the night. Edwin Onofre in fifth, Brandon Birch in sixth. Benito Gonzalez in seventh, Connor Cunningham in eighth, and Colton Juarez in ninth. Here are the results for the feature race. It was Josh Hunter, Nathaniel Redmond, and then Alexei Andreu at the end of the 1, 2, 3. Then the Hard Charger award goes to Dylan Lee in fourth. Edwin Onofre in fifth, Brandon Birch, Benito Gonzalez, Connor Cunningham, Colton Juarez, Jacob Bolland, Warren Johnson, and Brennan Myers rounding it out. Let's hop into the interview room and talk to the drivers about their race. First, we're going to talk to Alexei Andreu, who came home in third for the 19. Now, Alexei, it was a bit of a tricky start. Half the field was on dries, half the field was on wets. How'd you come up with the decision to stick to the dry tires for both heats?
Yeah, I did practice, and on the wet it was overheating too much, and constantly on ABS, and it felt pretty bad in Mustang. So I switched to dries and found time. So okay, that was it.
Well, it worked out well for you. Talk to us about a couple of battles that you had there on track. You were chasing down Josh Hunter and Nathaniel Redmond for pretty much both the entirety of the races.
Yeah, it was more like having a front seat for the battle, and I had some borrowed time P1 for a couple of laps, but I couldn't keep up with those guys.
Still a great charge and a great try. P3 is nothing to slouch about. Now, Alexei, who'd you like to shout out or who'd you like to thank here on the podium?
I'd like to thank Warren for organizing all this fun, and everyone who races, you for commentating, and yeah, that's all the fun. And I'm super tired. This kind of a race which drains energy from you.
100%, yeah. Thanks, Alexei, for supporting West Coast Sim Racing, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Thank you.
Next, we'll pull up Nathaniel Redmond. Now, Redmond took the win for heat number 1, but couldn't do it twice in a row. He had Josh Hunter to charge back through the field on him this time. Nathaniel, talk to us about that battle with Hunter, because race 1 was kind of quiet for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think I said to Josh before you came in, I mean, if he started up there with me and didn't get crashed into, he would have been 25 seconds ahead probably. So I don't know if it was much of a battle, but I mean, Josh is super quick. I had a good time up front. Honestly, I don't love the GT3 cars in iRacing. I prefer the GT4s. This is my first race this season with these, and I think I was fine, but they're not my favorite. And I thought the track was great. Everybody raced great, but yeah, Josh was just ballistic. So.
Yeah, he was an absolute rocket ship out there, but we'll keep talking about your race for now. We'll get to him in a second. Talk to us about heat number 1. I mean, you had to have the consistency, and again, the decision to stick to the dries. Did it come down to practice or just gut instinct?
Yeah, it came down to practice. I saw a few people running it before the race. We have that hour practice beforehand, and I saw some crazy laps coming with those, and I actually started on the dries just to see what it was like, and it ended up working out. Honestly, it wasn't too sketchy. There were a few moments I had, especially near the end of the heat and the end of the feature, where it was that long right-hander that the car just wouldn't grip up, or I just slide out into no man's land. But other than that, it was honestly fine. It was definitely a weird. It's weird to have the wet and the dries that close, in my opinion. And so I didn't know what to do, so I kind of just went dries and ended up working out.
Nice call at the end of the day. Now, Nathaniel, who would you like to shout out or who'd you like to thank on the victory and the podium?
Yeah, I mean, shout out West Coast Sim Racing. I've not been able to make it to most of the races because my PC was all bunked up, but here now, and love this group, and thanks to Warren for putting it on, and shout out wheelblend.com if you want to change the wheels in your car or test out new wheels, and that's about it.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Really appreciate you supporting West Coast Sim Racing again. Have a great night, brother, and we'll talk to you next week.
You too.
Last but not least, it's going to be Josh Hunter. Now, Josh, what happened for heat number 2 and starting from pit lane?
My PC crashed, unfortunately, when it was in warm-up, so yeah, it was a little annoying, but I mean, it was a lot of fun still.
I bet it was a lot of fun to charge through the field to make up all those positions and climb through the ranks. We were worried about you not taking the race start there at the beginning, but glad you're able to come through and get that coveted win that you were so close to getting for heat number 1.
Yeah, it was a weird night. I didn't know what to expect because I got in the practice session, saw it was raining, and saw people on wets, some people on dries. So, I mean, I tried wets, didn't really like it. Tried dries, it was okay, but eventually figured out it's really weird to have to take the long way around each corner just to stay off the rubber, but I mean, that's where all the grip is, and I guess that's where I had all the speed versus everyone else.
Yeah, and that's the way you made up a lot of positions, was just round the outside of everybody. So it was a good job, Josh. Now, anybody you want to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank here in Victory Lane?
Big shout out to Warren for the weather on this race. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to do it again in the future. I like the mixed conditions. You for the broadcast and everyone else for fun races.
Thank you, Josh Hunter, for continuing to support West Coast Sim Racing, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you, too.
Now, Warren Johnson is here with us, but he didn't have a tremendous race, so I doubt we'll have many things to say about that. Warren, how did your race go tonight?
Not a tremendous race. So it was, no, the first race was fine. The second race, I was just like, I'm just checked out of here. We're done with that. I wanted to see, because the wets fell off so bad in the feature, I wanted to go put the dries on just to see. And it was just like I don't know how these dudes are setting those times with that shit. So, but no, hey, congrats to the podium guys. Josh, I was an insane win from last to first. That's crazy in the rain against some aliens. Alexei was leading the race. That's really good from him to see that. I loved seeing that. I was hoping for a win, honestly, from him. That would have been cool against the two aliens behind him. But that they're aliens for a reason. And no, Josh Hunter, good job to him, Alexei, and Nathaniel, great podium.
Absolutely. It was a great drive tonight. And again, hats off to you for the weather this evening. Provided some great entertainment.
Oh yeah, we had to do something. We can't be perfect conditions every race. I promise one weather race every season for one of the series at least. So that was this time. Maybe I'll throw in a wet one for the GRs. Who knows?
Any shout outs or any announcements you'd like to give, Warren?
Oh, no, just, the normal. You for doing the broadcast as always. Thank you for that, and starting to do the shorts. I got to post them. Really good work there. And then everyone races week in, week out. Was that a dog?
That's what that dog. What did that dog do?
What that dog doing? Anyways, no, it was great. But thanks to all the guys, all the fans and everybody. Where we got next week? Let's see what we got going on next week. We got Mount Panorama in the GRs. That's an awesome track for that car, Mount Panorama. Then we got, looks like VIR and Miatas. That's going to be good.
And then Watkins Glen in the F4s.
Sebring. Is it Watkins? Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Watkins Glen F4s. That's going to be a great race. Wow, we got a good schedule next week. So stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a good week of racing. Sagar, thanks for the interview. We'll see you Monday evening.
See you Monday, Warren. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. See ya.
And with that, folks, we're going to wrap things up. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. As always, on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing, I've been Sagar Bakshi, taking you from start to finish. Thank you, everybody, for your love and support. As always, like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications for when West Coast Sim Racing and AK Esports goes live next. Have a great night, everybody, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.